During World War I, the world economy was undergoing a fundamental change. On the one hand, private international claims were going down, as European governments were requisitioning and reselling their citizens' U.S. investments to pay for American arms. On the other hand, debts owed by one government to another were growing, as Europe racked up increasingly large amounts in debt for weapons to the U.S. Treasury, including post-war victory loans. By 1921, the Allies owed the United States government a total of $12 billion. Philip Snowden, then Chancellor of the Exchequer, noticed that the U.S. government had in fact already collected about $3 billion in excess profits taxes on its armaments and other related industries. This just happened to be the same size as America's first official loan package to Europe. What this meant was that the U.S. was already making profits off the Allies before it entered the war, and they weren't coming just from the loans. Secretary of the Treasury Andrew Mellon would admit that U.S. profits on some war transactions were as high as 80%. But despite the profits the U.S. had raked in, the loans still stood. As one banker later explained, no one really realized at the time what this decision would cost. Within a matter of only 3 years, the U.S. supplied the Allied powers in exchange for nothing but unsecured promises of payment sometime in the indefinite future, with weapons of war valued at over $9.5 billion. And that debt, the U.S. said, had to be repaid. The thing is, this wasn't normal, because war debts had always been forgiven as a cost of war between allies. Next up in Part 5, a brief history of war debts, so stay tuned for more.